Welcome, friends, to the Beaver Dam, and we are going to have a damn good time. Yes, I am back, and you are probably making a big mistake because I kind of made this mistake a little bit, and I think everyone's going to fall into this trap sooner or later, and I feel like we need to talk about it, so please follow till the end. And if you enjoy this content and you want to help out the channel, you want to get this to more people so that way they know not to make this mistake, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate it. It helps me out, it helps everyone out. It's the best of all worlds, you know. But before we hop in, if you want to get into Raid Shadow Legends today and have a damn good time doing it, I highly suggest that you go check out the QR code that's appearing above or the link down in the description below. You're going to get a lot of great stuff to start out, including Zargala, as well as $60 of free stuff in your rewards. It's going to be super, super nice. Never been a better time to get started in Raid Shadow Legends or to start a new account just for fun. But regardless, go check it out. So jumping right in, I cannot tell you how many characters I've gotten recently. You guys may have seen my live streams recently. I opened something in the area of 70 ancient shards, and I want to say like 12 sacred shards in the last like month. Just because the Fabian fusion event, Fabian, however you say his name, as well as the events that were going on at the time, and I really wanted some of the rewards that were coming along, as well as I was kind of in a spot where I was like, I need some new characters. Now here's the problem. I have too many characters, and that can end up with a mistake where you're ending up putting character after character at level 50, and you're trying to push all this, you know, artifacts into all these different characters. You're trying to balance getting all of these different new characters that you have up to snuff. And you can see here, I have some legendaries sitting here with no artifacts. It's not a bad thing. It's not. So, of course, the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to check and make sure there's nothing to put into Faction Guardians when you get a whole bunch of characters like this, because you need to make sure that you're filling out your Faction Guardians as much as possible, because this will give you a solid boost to all of your factions, regardless of game mode. But that being said, you don't have to work on everything at once. And in fact, it's going to harm your roster. It will harm your roster. So you need to be very, very careful with where you spend your resources, especially in the early game. Like I am, you know, a couple months in at this point, and I still have to be very, very careful with my resources. Otherwise, I'm just going to absolutely demolish my roster because, like, look at all these characters that I have. Like, you know, and even then, like with rares, there are some rares in here that are really solid rares. And you know, not all of them are food. And so one of the first things that I highly suggest is basically keep in mind what you're working towards right now. Like, for instance, for me, Demon Lord's the biggest thing for me. The Demon Lord clan boss is just insane value on a daily basis, and you just can't get over how much value that you're getting from these rewards. You know, you're able to get shards out of them. If you can max out the top level with your guild, you're looking at the possibility of getting a sacred shard every single day. Now it's not a guaranteed sacred shard, but still a chance at a sacred shard every day. I would take that chance every single freaking day. So I want to push into Demon Lord as hard as I can right now, as well as work on Doom Tower. So those are my kind of two big focuses right now. And so of all the characters that I got in this last set of characters, I got a legendary, this beautiful man here, Gentoro, who is you know, really, really good in Demon Lord, and so I took him up to level 60. And so you want to, you know, be focusing on the characters that are going to be able to benefit what you're currently working on. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is just take a look, see what you're currently working on. If you get some characters and you're doing an event like this and you get some characters, don't feel like you got to go and farm them immediately. Like if you're still in the early phase and you're working towards getting your campaign farmers done, then, like, you know, finish your kale, finish your campaign farmers. They're going to be the big thing that helps to you. Trying to spread out your stuff to other things is just, it's not going to help overall. Another thing that I think is very important with this is just using the favorites and the locking. This has been super nice for me, trying to keep track of like who who should be worked on and who can be food and that type of thing, and knowing the priorities of stuff, I think is one of the biggest things that's helpful. If like when I went through and I got all those characters, right after I pulled all the characters, I went through and each character that I got, I looked them up on hellhades.com, and then I went through and like I went to check just which ones were worth using, which ones weren't, and then I could go, you know, upgrade a rank, and it would show me any that were unlocked. And so all the unlocked ones are the ones that I can utilize, I can eat into my other champions. And so going through and using the lock and unlocks as well as the favorite system is going to help you a lot. And then the third piece that I just want to briefly go over is this wonderful thing where you can take your characters and you can throw them in the vault. There's champion vaults. You can see here I have a bunch of characters in the vault, and this isn't even just characters that I'm like not currently working on. This is just all of my characters for faction guardians from all my polls recently. And so all of my faction guardians are in here that I'm not currently using, and this doesn't break up your faction guardians or anything, and it doesn't, you know, have any negative consequences essentially. In fact, my other faction guardian for this one, I actually use her to some degree, and so I don't have her in a vault. I actually have her at level 50 and fully ascended, and so because I use her, I don't put her in the vault. But this vault is going to help you be able to maintain a roster that looks semi-decent. You can see what you need to focus on. You can get rid of the ones that you don't necessarily need to focus on. In fact, like for instance, there's a character in here. Let's see if I can find her. She is a legendary. She's currently in the sparring pit, so let's move her out. We're going to throw her in the reserve vault because I don't have a reason to level her up anytime soon. She's not part of the things that I'm currently working on. Same with this guy right here. Not something that currently works with the stuff that I'm working on. And so I was leveling these people up for the events that were happening at the time. But right now I can throw them in the reserve vault and I can kind of, you know, forget about them for a while and then come back to them when I need them. And so I think these three things will help you a lot in just making sure you're not wasting materials and time on characters that are not important. And yes, they are important, but they're important down the road. And that's the big thing that I want to stress, is that if you spend too much time working on these characters that are just like, you know, oh, this is a good character, but it's a good character down the road where like I can use it for a faction wars, and I can use it for this game mode here, this niche boss here, that type of thing. That is stuff that you cannot focus on right now. And I have ADHD. I get it. I understand the whole, ooh, look, a squirrel. Like, that is my life. And so we need to limit that as much as possible so we can focus on our PPs, passion projects, for those of you who haven't been around the Beaver Dam very long. So focusing down our PPs and our major farms that we want to do. So Demon Lord for me, as well as I have a little passion project for my good old dwarf faction. I managed to pull a whole bunch of dwarves, and so I have a dwarf faction going, and I think it's a fun one to build since I have like a full faction wars team, and so I'm building into this pretty heavily just for fun. So, you know, being able to focus on the things that really matter versus like focusing on just, oh, I got all these cool stuff, is vitally important for your roster. So I just wanted to give you guys a warning, give you guys a couple ideas on how to clean up your account a bit and make sure you don't fall into this trap. Whether you're a new player, a old player, you know, you've been playing since the game started, there's always room to get rid of some clutter, do some spring cleaning. We are, I don't know. Are we in spring at this point? Where I'm living, everything's warm and has been for like the last 3 months, which is just wild. Winter just never came. But hey, whatever it might be, we're going to do some winter cleaning, spring cleaning, get your roster into a good spot. But hopefully this helps you guys, and if it does, please share it with your friend, let people know about this, because we want people to be able to focus on what they want to focus on, and we want them to have a damn good time playing this game. So make sure you let your friends know, hey, stop cluttering up your roster, stop working on random stuff, and focus down on the things that are going to help right now. And additionally, if you want some help right now and you're looking to start a new account, it has never been a better time to jump in to raid Shadow Legends. There is so much that you're getting. You're going to get the wonderful Zargala. You're going to get all kinds of cool stuff. Now is the time to get in. There's all kinds of cool promo codes going on, which there'll be a video very soon with the 2 new promo codes that started in the last month that are going to be very cool, and I'm going to be comparing and contrasting which one's the best. So if you're looking to start a new account, keep an eye out for that video, or if you're a new player, also keep an eye out for that video. But don't miss out. If you are literally starting the game today, look up the promo codes now and just choose one, even if you don't have that video, because you only have 24 hours to use one of the beginner player promo codes. But regardless, check out that link down below. Check out the QR code. It's going to get you all kinds of cool stuff starting out in the game. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you for giving a damn.